New this week on DVD, a shockingly good TV adaptation, a surprisingly bad fairy tale, a sequel that's about as awful as we figured it would be, and the quiet little film that ran away with Oscar.
We'll be going in as undercover high school students.
You have exceptional muscle tone there, young man. When'd you go through puberty? Like 7 or something?
Let's start with some good news. Now, we're long past the point of expecting much out of these big screen adaptations of mediocre TV shows from the 80s, but I gotta give big kudos to 21 Jump Street. Channing Tatum has better chemistry with Jonah Hill than he had with Rachel McAdams in The Vow. They really click as a couple of hapless cops who go undercover as high school students to bust a drug ring. Ice Cube is hilarious as their ever-scowling boss. Rob Riggle throws himself into the role of a creepy coach, and Ellie Kemper from The Office is wonderful as a teacher who's in lust with the hunky Tatum. And there's a great climactic scene that pays tribute to the iconic final shootout in True Romance. Great stuff. The remake of Clash of the Titans was good for only one thing: Liam Neeson bellowing, "Release the Kraken!" You'd be surprised at how often you can use that phrase in everyday life.
You will learn someday that being half human makes you stronger than a god.
Neeson and Ralph Fiennes must have been shaking their heads and comparing their paychecks while struggling not to laugh out loud at the material in Wrath of the Titans, which is nearly as cheesy and ridiculous as its predecessor. This isn't a terrible film, and I suppose a 12-year-old boy might find it entertaining enough on a rainy summer evening. Everyone else should take a pass.
Mirror, mirror on the wall,
Who's the fairest of them all?
Snow White.
What? Snow White.
Also new on DVD, Mirror, Mirror, which mixes elements of the Brothers Grimm and Disney versions of the Snow White story and piles on a number of strange and weird elements. None is very effective. Director Tarsem Singh fills the screen with his usual unique visual style, but that really can't rescue the flat, unfunny, tedious material. Julia Roberts as the Evil Queen, still looking pretty great if you ask me. Lily Collins as Snow White is like a young Audrey Hepburn, except with distracting eyebrows. Armie Hammer, who was so great in The Social Network, is mired in an embarrassing role as the prince, who's mostly a dork. And there's something kind of off-putting about a modern-day fairy tale that puts so much emphasis on youth over age. Plus, this queen isn't so much evil as she is kind of sad and lonely and clinically insane. There's not a whole lot of entertainment in that. And finally, there's the black and white and nearly silent film that took Oscar by storm, The Artist. Even after all those Oscar wins, I couldn't talk some of my friends into taking a chance on this lovely, funny, romantic, and beautiful tribute to the Hollywood of long ago, so I dropped those friends. Academy Award winner Jean Dujardin and Oscar nominee Berenice Bejo were the year's most winning couple. John Goodman was brilliant as a studio boss, and James Cromwell was just perfect as the leading man's longtime driver. In lesser hands, The Artist might have been nothing more than an elaborate gimmick, but it turned out to be one of the best movies about movies ever made. That's all for this week. See you again soon.